Hi. Hello, hello. Oh my. Hello again. Hello again. Isn't it great like when you do something for your body that feels good and you feel better and then you're like, "Ooh, I need some more of that. Give me more." Okay. Wacky hair. Let's go to the floor and have your strap. Maybe we'll use it this time. And all your other things. Hi, people. Have all your things ready. Blocks and blankets and pillows and have your blocks. Have your blocks handy before you get too comfy. Oh. Just have them nearby. We'll do a little supported cobbler's pose. So nearby, but not in the way. And your strap. I love when I tell you what to do, but I don't do it myself. All right, I got a strap, I got blocks, everything is close. And we're gonna start with our feet on the floor, knees bent. We call this constructive rest. And I just want you to feel like you're landing here. Shut off your phone, close the door, tell everybody to leave you alone. You deserve this time. Your body and your mind need time, where we minimize the stimulation and tune in. This helps to calm the nervous system. Notice your breathing. I want you to feel the breath filling into your lungs. Let's take one more big conscious breath. Soften your face. Just giving the body a little time to let go of any unnecessary tension. Can you feel that? Like maybe you're holding your jaw and you don't need to. And now what I want you to do is place your hands on the front of your pelvis. So I'm going to take my thumbs together and my fingers together, create a little triangle. And I'm going to put my thumbs, right under my belly button and my fingers pointing down to the pubic bone. So it looks like that. That's cute. All right. So as I push my fingertips towards my pubic bone, I am moving my pelvis into an arch. It's arching forward, untucking. And then as I tip my pubic bone towards my face, those fingers go up to the ceiling. And what I want you to focus on is that the movement is happening from your pelvis. We're kind of just rocking forward and back. The lower back will arch up off the floor and flatten to the floor. But think about the movement coming from the pelvis. The spine is moving because you're moving your pelvis. So let the effort be really small. You don't need to tighten up your lower back. And let's just add a little breathing here. Inhale as the back lifts off the ground, and exhale as the back flattens to the ground. And last time. And then just let yourself settle into neutral. And then maybe kind of use your arms against the ground, lift your shoulders, and make yourself taller. Wiggle your shoulders away from your butt. And bring your left knee into your chest. And as we hold the left knee in, just kind of relax through your face and your shoulders. Notice how your lower back has flattened into the ground. If that feels really good for you, or say you have spinal stenosis, it's flared up, this is a good place to stay with your foot on the floor, other knee bent. If you want to slide that leg out, as it straightens, as the knee straightens, you'll feel that curve come back into the lower back. So you have a choice. Do what feels good. You can feel a stretch and pull and all of that stuff, but you don't want to feel pain. And the work is minimal. Relax through the face. Now we're just getting one sit bone to move the opposite direction of the other sit bone. The leg that we're holding, it gets to relax, so make sure it's not working or helping. We're going to hang in here a little bit longer. Can you sense your breath coming down to the very bottom of your pelvis, right down to the tailbone? And it might feel really nice to roll the head a little side to side. Feeling the back of your head touching the floor. It's okay to have a little something under your head if you need it. And then pausing in the center. All right, we've been here for 2 minutes. Pull your belly button down a little bit. We're going to bend the straight leg, foot on the floor, and we're going to go into another position with our strap. Same side, left leg. I'm going to take my strap. I'm going to put my foot right in the middle of it. And I'm going to start with the strap right at the ball of my foot under the toes. So what I want you to do is kick your leg out kind of low so your thighs are level with each other. So I know you can bring your leg up high, but we're not doing that. Walk your hands up your strap, hold on to both sides, and pull down on the strap, press through the heel. And then don't pull down and relax. 3 more times, pull down. So this should be stretchy in your calf, making the ankle bend. You're welcome. And then we're going to pull down and we're going to stay here. So I'm pressing through the heel, feel that big calf stretch. Now, tip your pubic bone forward like we were doing. Feel the lower back arch away from the ground. And now, pressing through the heel, pulling on the strap, keep that arch. Maybe you can bring your foot up a tiny bit higher. All we're looking for is the pull coming down the back of the leg. Relax your shoulders. Take a breath. And now take this foot, keep everything the way it is. Take your left foot and rotate it outwards like a duck. And then back into the neutral position. Let's do that 2 more times. Outwards like a duck. Keep the little arch in the back. It's not a big deal. The back is just not flat to the floor. Last time, rotate outwards. Stay, pull down on the strap, straighten the knee, arch the back. Go back to neutral, and then get your foot out of the strap and put your foot back down on the ground. Feel the difference in your 2 calves with your eyes closed. I know, right? The right leg is like, me. Hold the right knee. Maybe you just pause here for a moment. If you want to slide the leg out, do that at any time. You can turn the toes to the ceiling, kneecap to the ceiling. And then we're just settling in. Sending breath down to the bottom of your pelvis. Softening through the upper back and shoulders. Relax your jaw. If you want to, gently turn the head a little side to side. Now the next step isn't necessarily about stretching, but if you're turning your head, notice how slowly you're going. And slow it down a little bit more. So what I want you to do is notice your pace as you breathe. And relax the right leg. And soften your jaw. We're just undoing all the doing you've been doing. And if you're like, oh, I haven't been doing anything. Well, thinking about what we're not doing is just as stressful. Coming back into the center with your head, relax the shoulders. And see what else you can soften. So my straight leg can be a little active, pressing through the heel a little bit. Not a big deal. And then you're going to pull your belly in, pull the belly button down towards the floor to help stabilize your back so you can bend that left knee and find your strap. Bring the strap to the ball of the foot under the toes. Have a strap in both sides of your hands. Don't wrap your hands around the strap. I want you to have a little more play than that. Have your thighs really level with each other. This is very important. And we're going to pull down on the strap and release. Pull down. Make sure the toes are not going outwards like a duck. Not yet. Pull down and release 4 times. And then when you're going to pull down and stay, all I want you to do is tip your pubic bone forward like we practiced. Feel how the lower back lifts off the ground. Keep it there. Pull down on the strap, straighten the knee. Now externally rotate. Keep everything the way it is. Just rotate from your hip. The foot rotates outwards to the right like a duck, and then back to neutral. Keep the little arch, outwards like a duck. Soften your face, back to neutral. 3 is good, 4 is good. Outwards. Noticing how this leg is different than the other leg, right? And then we're going to rotate outwards and stay. Lumbar curve. Pull down the strap, press through the heel, straighten the knee, relax your shoulders, relax your face, smile. Back to neutral. Release the strap. Put your foot down. I know. Now let's take it a little bit further up into the hips. So I'm going to have my feet on the floor, and I'm just going to do one leg at a time. I'm going to lower one knee out to the side, and then I'm going to bring it back up. I'm going to rotate so you can see. I'm going to rotate one leg outward, external rotation, and back up. Do the other leg out and up. Put your hands on the front of your hips. Don't let your body roll to the side, but you might touch those knobby bones at the front of your pelvis. And as the leg goes out to the side, that little knobby bone should flare out to the side. It's called a hip flare. So if this side of your ilium isn't moving well, then you're going to have to steal that movement from other places of the body. So if the hips are kind of stuck, then the lower back and the knees have to work harder. So I always like to start with the hips. All right. Now let's keep going. Now let's pause here. I'm going to widen my feet a little bit. I'm going to put my left hand on my left thigh, telling my left thigh, you're not moving, you're not going anywhere. Take the right leg, open it out like we were, bring it back up. Now move my right foot to the right a little bit wider so I can take my right knee down towards the floor, internal rotation. So my knee is going down towards my other foot. Now let's try that a couple of times. I can move my foot to get my leg to rotate outwards. I can move my foot out to the side to bring my knee down towards the other foot. So now we're doing external rotation and internal rotation. Your back's going to lift off the floor. One side of your butt is going to be off the floor when you internally rotate. If you enjoy the internal rotation as a stretchy feeling, I want you to stay in the internal rotation with your knee reaching down. The right hip will lift up, and it can feel like a nice big pull through the front of your thigh. Tensor fascia lata. So you can pause in it, or you can keep it moving. Let's try the other side. So my right hand goes to my right thigh, telling my right leg, you're not going anywhere, and my left leg opens out. And then I'm going to bring the knee up and I'm going to internally rotate outwards and inwards. One leg usually feels different than the other. And how can it not? Just think about like how long you've been driving a car. Decades, right? And the right foot works differently than the left foot. I think eventually we'll just start driving with our thumbs. Or I guess we're probably not going to have to drive at all. We'll just sit there and do nothing. I'm sure we'll do something. Look at our phones and use our thumbs. Poor thumbs. If you like the internal rotation and you want to stay, let the butt lift up off the ground. That butt cheek can even tighten. Right knee staying up to the ceiling. And you can pause for that internal rotation stretch. And then come out. All right. Now let's go feet wide. Let's take both. We're going to go windshield wipers. Both legs right, both legs left. Take your arms overhead if you can, if you like. Now another thing you can do here, I'm going to give you some windshield wiper options. You could hold your block above your head. Keep your shoulders down and heavy. Keep your head in the center. And notice how the shoulders stay nice and quiet. I like that one. And then, you know, some people like to take the arms overhead. You could even hold the block, take the block down to the floor over your head. And you can always turn the head the opposite direction of your knees. And let's pause in the center. Okay. So I'm going to take both blocks now. We're going to do a supported cobbler's pose. And I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to bring the bottoms of my feet together. I'm going to let my knees open out to the sides. And I'm going to use my blocks. I'm going to turn them a little bit on the edge. So they're on the edge of the block. I'm going to slide them in so my thighs land on the flat side. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, look, I've tipped my block. Otherwise, your thigh is pressing into the edge. Very, very minimal stretch, if nothing at all. I want you to feel completely supported and able to let go. Notice your breathing. Big exhalation. Let your exhales be longer than your inhales. Long, slow exhale. Telling your body, I feel safe. When you breathe in this position, your lungs will expand, the diaphragm will move, your internal organs will move, all the way down to the very floor of your pelvis. Let it happen. On the exhales, notice what you can soften. Are you willing to let go? What keeps you from letting go completely? When you're ready to come out, your hands can help your knees back together. Pause in constructive rest. And then let's roll to the side. Come on up. I know, right? Ready for Shavasana? Let's do a little cat and cow. And we'll head to lunge. Hi, Peggy. Peggy, I hope you melted today. We did clams and side leg lifts for you. All right, ready? Cat. Saggy cow. Cat. Add the breath. Inhale as you lift your face and butt. Exhale as you go to cat. Let's stay in the cat and use the breath to create more change. Inhale into your back through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And at the end of the exhale, push through the arms stronger. Do it 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Push through the arms. Last time. Saggy cow. Relax the toes if they're curled under. Go to cat pose. And stay in the cat as you move back to child's pose. As you get back as far as you can, reach your arms a little further. Go back to the hands and knees. Back to saggy cow. Back to cat. Back to child's pose. Last time. Hands and knees. Now you could stay in saggy cow and go back to child's pose. See how that feels. And then find your child's pose and give yourself a moment to rest. If it's not restful, try adding some support. You could bring a blanket under your elbows. You could put a block under your head, a block between your feet.
Before you come out, notice what can you soften. Look at the jaw, your shoulders, your feet.
And when you're ready, find your blocks. Always start with them tall because it's easier to get your foot up there between. And as you lunge forward, I want my shin bone to be vertical. Let's move back and forth. Push into the front foot to move your butt back. The back foot should be hiding behind your knee. I just caught myself. My foot was a little over there in the wrong place. Gliding back and forth. Keeping the toes down in the front will help stretch out the top of the foot. Which really never gets stretched out. Especially if you start wearing like bigger shoes, heavy like boots and things like that really keep the ankle bent. Oh dear. All right, let's go into lunge and stay. I'm going to make my block shorter. I'm going to lift the back knee. It's optional. You don't have to. First thing I want you to do if you're going to lift your knee, push into your arms. Bend the back ankle. Lift your butt. And then I'm going to push through the back heel. I'm going to bend the front knee. So my knee in the front and my heel in the back are reaching away from each other. My hips are square to the floor. My arms are pushing. And I'm going to inhale and exhale. I'm going to think about the hips sinking down. It'll only be a smidgen. You can't really see it, but you'll feel it. You could rock a little side to side is nice, just shifting body weight from one hand to the other. This is a long psoas. Now, if I knocked you over, which I would never do, and you were laying on your back in this position, this is how we started, holding the knee to the chest. We've just flipped ourselves around. All right, push through the arms. I'm going to rock my body forward. My head goes forward over my front toes so I can lower the back knee, relax the back foot, and back all the way up. Let's make the blocks tall. Lift the front heel, toes, and slide the heel forward. My hips are square. And here we are again, just like with the strap. I'm going to bend the ankle, and I'm going to bring that little arch in above the waistband. As you bring the arch into the lower back, it's not a rib thing. It's very low. And you put your toes to the ceiling. You're going to pull that foot away from the butt. And that's going to give you that stretch. All right, get out of there. Let's do the other side. Forward and back. You could put a pillow under your knee if you need that. Use your front foot to move you back. Make sure your back foot is hiding behind your knee. Keep the toes down so you can stretch the top of your foot. Staying in the lunge, blocks are shorter. Arms push down, tuck the toes, lift your butt, push through the arms. My front knee goes forward, my back heel goes back, my arms are strong. I'm going to sink the hips down a little tiny bit, and I'm going to rock left and right. Now you could have your knee on the floor in this position and do the same thing, rocking left and right. Options. Pausing in the center, I'm going to go forward towards my toes so I can lower the back knee, relax the back foot, turn the blocks up tall, walk them back under your shoulders. So my front toes lift and I slide the heel forward. Look, the bottom leg is vertical. I'm going to bring the little arch into the lower back. So I tip my tail back. I move my pelvis. Turn the front toes to the ceiling. The knee is straight. The face is smiley. Take a big, long, slow exhale. And get out of there. Pull the foot back. Let's do a little pigeon, shall we? Because Peggy's here. All right, I'm going to use my bolster. And if you're like, oh dear, I do not like this pigeon pose, you could come up and sit in the chair. I'll give you some options as you're getting pigeon prepared. You could sit in the chair and bring your ankle to your thigh. Look, it's a very similar angle. All I'm doing is putting my butt on the floor. In this, the legs are going in the same position. When I'm in pigeon pose, I got one leg going forward, one leg going back, kind of our theme today. So I can put a cheek on the corner of the bolster, stack pillows, cushion of a couch. Or I can get my thigh on here. So if you're tall and tight, you got a tight butt, you're walking like a duck, you need a lot of stuff underneath your butt. All right. If you're like me up here, I want to rotate my hip forward. And you can pause up here, or you can fold down. And, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have a tight butt. We should feel kind of like this pulling, lengthening, stretchy sensation down in the hip, your butt. Sometimes we can feel it into the hamstring because we're working close to the sit bone. And when we get this stuff to loosen up, when we're not holding so much tension here, it really helps us with forward bending. So we're really preparing the body to be able to forward bend better. Big exhalation. Stay longer if you like. We're striving for that 2-minute mark where the body starts to really understand, okay, I don't have to hold this tension anymore. So we're coming up on 2 minutes. That 2-minute mark, you might really feel like, okay, it's starting to feel different. When you want to come out, I'm going to lean a little bit away. I'm going to bring that back leg forward. And then we do the other side. Ready? So I can just put a cheek on the corner. This knee can be more bent. And the more flexibility you have, the more you can angle your leg. Square the hip. You can pause at the top. So this is a back bend, but this is giving me more of a forward bend. Should not feel anything weird in the knee. This is not about the knee. This is about your hip. We're stretching muscles that are external rotators, and I tried to warm us up as much as possible before getting into this position. Focus on your breathing. Slow, long exhale. Notice what you can soften. You may not be able to soften down in your hip, but notice other places, your hands, your jaw, especially the jaw, throat, shoulders, back leg.
When you feel done, you're going to tip to the side and bring your back leg forward.
And we're going to sit on whatever you were just sitting on. All right, we're hanging in there. Let me know how your pigeons go. So we're going to sit, and we're going to sit cross-legged. So when you sit cross-legged, you want to have your knees a little lower than your hips. So you may have to elevate your butt. Elevate your butt. All right. So what do I mean by that? Is if I put a little marble on the middle of my thigh, the marble should roll off down and out towards your knees, not towards your hips. So if you're sitting back like this, you're going to be very rounded. If the knees drop down, you'll have that natural curve in your lumbar spine, and that's going to give you maximum change in your rib cage. And that's what we're doing. We're coming up into the ribs after all that hip work. Bring one hand down to the floor. Take the other arm up to the ceiling, however you can get it there. And then pause to breathe in and reach up. Scooch the arm closer to your head, and then see if you can lean in and lay your head on your shoulder. Now, you could always have a block under your hand if you're up there really high. And then we're going to create a little pulsing action. The hand that's on the floor, I'm going to turn the fingers forward. I'm going to give a little bend and straighten. Oh my. So I'm feeling this all the way from the waist, all the way up through the ribs, reaching the hand away from the hip. I'm going to pause and see if you can have a lumbar curve and rotate the chest a little more to the ceiling. It's really minuscule. When you want to get out, the arm in the air leads the way up and open. And then you're going to push in, pull your belly in, help yourself all the way up. Let's do the other side. Switch your feet. That always feels weird. And then take your hand down to the ground. Arm to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arm near your head, leaning in. Lay your head down to the shoulder. Rotate the bottom hand fingers forward. Bend and straighten the bottom elbow, a little pulsing action. Find a place where you can stay, and then just rotate your chest more to the ceiling. Reach through the fingers. Take a breath. When you want to get out, the arm in the air leads the way before it falls asleep. Up you come, head last. Pausing at the top. Close your eyes, relax the shoulders. Take your legs forward. Doop-de-doo. Bend your right knee. Hold on to the right leg with your left arm. Bring your right hand behind you. So the left leg moves forward. Your whole sit bone moves forward. It's almost like my pelvis and my torso are facing this leg. I'm going to hold on. My right hand is behind me. I could have a block. Or you could have your fingertips on the floor. And here we go. Ready? Inhale. As you exhale, think about reaching the left foot forward. Rotate your belly organs. Move your rib cage. Turn your neck. And then turn your eyeballs. Eyes open or closed. Now I want you to use your arms to keep everything where it is. Only turn your head back to the front. Look over that front left shoulder and pause. Take a breath in. And exhale, turn the head back to the right. You're going to reach your left foot forward, rotate your belly, your ribs, your neck, your eyeballs. Coming out, lifting up. Switch legs. Right leg straight, left hand behind. Hold on. Here's the adjustment. I want to take my right leg and scooch it forward. Feel your sit bone reach forward, facing the leg. You can lean back a little bit. We want to have a lumbar curve. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, reach your right foot forward. Rotate your belly organs, your ribs, your neck, your eyeballs. Stay. Arms hold you here. Now, as your arms hold you in this position, turn your head back to the right. So the spine is twisting to the left, and then the neck is twisting to the right, and then go back to the left. Inhale as you go. Exhale, right leg reaches forward, rotate, rotate, rotate. All the way up to your eyeballs. Make the eyes work. Eyes are muscles. Come out nice and slow. And then you come back to the front. Let's take the legs forward. Wiggle your butt out to the edge. And then we'll take our feet a little wide. You could have a block. And my toes are going to turn upwards. I'm sitting on the bones of the butt. You can take the bones and move them back. You can even widen them a little bit. And we want to bend from the crease. So I'm going to bend my ankles, turn on the front of the thighs, should be firm, poke them. And then as best you can, lift up and fold from the crease. And when you can fold no further, when you hit that point where you're like, that's as far as I can go, then lower your head and let the upper back round. So I can put my head on my block or two. Could slide a chair in there. Keep the toes actively turning upwards. The front of the thighs active. Support your head or let it go. Try using your breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, empty all the way. As you empty all the way, you'll feel your belly pull in and you might feel your body lower down. Allow yourself a moment to feel calm. When you feel ready to come up, hands to the thighs above your knees. Help yourself all the way up. Pausing at the top, close your eyes. Let's just stay here for a second. Bend your knees, fold your legs in, scoot your butt back, put your hands on your legs, close your eyes. And let your mind go to that place right at the, if you go awareness to the space between your eyebrows. And then just take your awareness right into the center of your brain. Just pausing for a peaceful moment. Just being aware of the space at the center of your brain. And I want you to repeat to yourself, what am I going to think next? What am I going to think next? Awareness at the center of the brain. What am I going to think next? your eyes open when you're ready. And let's come off of our seated props and prepare our laying down props. Did that technique work for you? All of a sudden, there's no thoughts, no thinking, I hope. Okay, so we're going to prepare for Shavasana. I'm going to use my couch because it works. It's a good height for me, but you can layer your blankets and your bolsters and whatever you like. And I want you to take a little bit of time here to get yourself comfortable. So I'm going to put my sweater back on. I'm going to turn my lights down. And we're preparing for Shavasana, which is really the most important pose. We're communicating to the body that we're feeling safe. And when we feel safe is when we heal. And what's more important than that? Helping the body down-regulate so the body can heal. So don't skip it. Instead of skipping it, I want you to make it really good. Cover yourself up, put your socks on. A cover for your eyes is really nice. And I always just use my strap that I used for my hamstring stuff. I'll just lay the strap right over my eyes. It's light, so that's nice on the eyes. It's not putting pressure in the eyes. And when you got yourself good and cozy and super supported, make another couple adjustments. And start to take some conscious breaths. I know it seems weird, but we really do need to practice resting. Our breathing will help. We're going to inhale for 4. We're going to pause for 2. We're going to exhale for 6. And then we'll take a normal breath. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a normal breath. Begin again. Inhale for 4. Pause for 2. Exhale slowly for 6. You can take a normal breath if you like, or just begin again. Counting for yourself. Be gentle. And begin to notice that there is a pause at the end of the exhale. I want you to linger in the pause without counting until there's a desire to inhale. Notice if that pause at the end of the exhale is getting longer and easier. This is when the nervous system understands that you are feeling safe. Let's do one more time. You can let your breath return to a natural rhythm whenever you're ready. And now just bring your awareness down to your feet, noticing your toes, all parts of both feet. And even have a sense of the space inside your toes and feet. And up into your ankles, along the lower legs, shins, and calves. Be aware of the backs of your knees, the front of your knees, the space inside your knees, the length of your thighs. Follow your thighs all the way up into and through your hips. And through the hips up into your pelvis. Allow this sense of resting through the internal organs of your belly. Exhaling and softening inside your chest. Be aware of both hands, fingers, thumbs, hands, and all the space inside your hands. Up into your wrists, through the lower arms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders. And from the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders, up into your neck. Noticing the length of your neck. And softening inside your throat. Let there be layers and layers of softening inside the throat. As if you could soften all the way through to the back of your neck. Feel the back of your head meeting the floor. The very, very top of your head. Become aware of your forehead. Softening your face, your jaw, lips, eyes. And go back to that space at the center of your brain. Being without doing. Aware without thinking. Just notice the sounds all around you without judging them. aware without labeling. As you come back gently, I want you to imagine something that you want to have happen for yourself. Maybe it's physical, mental, emotional. Maybe it has to do with a relationship. Everything's a relationship. I want you to pause in this calm state and feel, sense, or see what you want to have happen. What does it look like? Notice some detail. Notice the joy. Let it play out like a little movie in your mind. And then coming back gently, take a breath. Thank your body profusely and passionately, thanking your body. When you feel like moving, roll to your side and pause. I hope you feel calm, relaxed. peaceful. This underlying vibration of joy. Notice how it feels to have taken time for yourself. Often the hardest thing to do. I hope you find yourself taking long, slow exhales all day long. Namaste.